Hey everyone, I'm Nick MacDonald, your headmaster of astrology at the Sisters Enchanted and star reader at Nick MacDonald Astrology, guiding you to your destiny through the stars. This is Moonspeak. Alright, so we start this week off with a waning gibbous moon in Aries. The waning gibbous moon is always the aftermath of the full moon, and last week's full moon was in Capricorn, where we had to put up some boundaries because other people might have been crossing our emotional lines. They might have not been respecting our space and giving us enough space to feel our own emotions. And now, with the waning gibbous moon moving into Aries, it's time to let go of all of those events that happened. But Aries isn't really one to let go of what's happening or what's happened around it. It wants to act, it wants to do, it puts all of itself in its own actions. So right now we might be feeling a bit of that aftermath and saying, ugh, I just want to be me, I want to do my own thing, I don't want to have to worry about working with other people, about being emotionally attached to other people. I just want to be in my own space. And so right now is a great time to kind of let go of that will and desire to do your own thing, to be your own person, to be number one. Remember, the moon moves over Chiron every time that it enters Aries, with Chiron in Aries right now. So we really need to focus on how we can move past our hurts, past our differences, how we can do it arm in arm with each other. How can we help take care of each other and make each other feel independent, but help each other do that together? Now we come to a last quarter moon in Taurus. What happens with this last quarter moon is that we need to release and let go of all of the things that we've been working on during this previous lunar cycle. And this lunar cycle has been all about creating emotional well-being for ourselves, separating that emotional well-being from the work we have to do, figuring out what boundaries we have to create to get that work done, and while still keeping that emotional balance within ourselves. And through all of this, we might have lost sight of what makes us feel safe and comfortable, what makes us feel stable. It probably wasn't a very comfortable time with that full moon in Capricorn. And if it was a comfortable time, if you did have a great full moon, you probably are going to have a really awesome last quarter moon where you're like, yeah, I've got those boundaries, I've got my emotional stability, and I've got my comfort. Let me release all of that so I can go into this next Leo lunar cycle in a big, awesome, look at me, look how great I am way. Finally, we come to a waning crescent moon in Gemini. With it in Gemini, it connects our minds to our emotional comfort, our emotional stability. And not only is the moon connecting in this way, but the planet that rules Gemini, which is Mercury, is retrograde in Cancer right now as well. This is like this is what we call mutual reception, where both are in each other's kind of home zones, where our emotions are in our mind and our mind are in our emotions. And right now, we might feel a huge need and burning desire to protect our mind, to protect our emotions from other people's thoughts, from other people's interaction and conversations with us. What's important is that you don't necessarily act on those feelings and that you just collect more information. Remember, we aren't in the boundary setting phase, we're in the phase of letting go of all of that. So it's really important to accept the ideas of others, take them in, kind of churn the wheel, so to speak, and really mix it into what you know and to what your ideas are, because during this next lunar cycle, it's going to be all about being us and being ourselves. So we need to take a little bit of time to add a little bit more of other people's understanding into our own perspective so that we can go into the next lunar cycle really strong-minded, really strong-willed, and ready for all the things that the Leo lunar cycle has to give us. Thanks everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget you can always check out last week's video to see where we came from and next week's video to see where we're gonna go. These lunar cycles all happen as a whole mechanism. So understanding the whole mechanism really helps with understanding where you're going and what you need to do to prepare for each lunar cycle. If anyone ever needs help with this, I'm also available for readings. Don't hesitate, please direct message me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week when we talk about the new moon in Leo. Have a great week, guys. Thank you.